Hi, I'd like to talk about the tipping point. For those of us who have been actively working on changing our lives, who have been doing the deep introspection, the meditation, discovering what's sitting in our auric fields, and basically just announcing to ourselves and to the world that we are going to just start morphing into somebody else, that we are going to create ourselves physically to be different and to create our lives to be different as well. So, for those of us who do the work and start to see the changes, there's a tipping point. And this is a very fragile tipping point. So let me see if I can try and explain it. Often what we're doing is we're changing really deep rooted belief systems about ourselves and about the world and about other people. And for those of us who can do that, who are changing these negative belief systems, I congratulate all of you. It's important work, and you probably are feeling and seeing, witnessing the beautiful effects from it. So, as we're morphing into the new us, we're leaving behind people, places, situations that no longer vibrate with us anymore, because as we're changing to morph into a new life, into the life that we want, our frequency changes. And when our frequency changes, when our vibe changes, people and places and events that used to be in sync with us are no longer in sync with us. So what happens is we break up, we get divorced, we change jobs, we sell our homes, we move, a variety of things happen. Not all of those things happen, but some of those things do happen. We can end friendships, long friendships might just end, and many times these things end without an argument or without a big to-do. A lot of times it just seems like they just kind of just float away. Sometimes there's arguments, but a lot of times it's just this natural release that happens. So often then we're left with, oh my gosh, I just lost my girlfriend of 15 years, and I feel bad about it. I feel lonely. I miss her. Did I do something wrong? And so what this does is it hinders our progress for a little bit. Just remember, you lost your girlfriend at 15 years because your vibration changed. And she was vibrating like this, and you were vibrating like this. And so for a long time, you were vibrating like this, and everything was fine. And then all of a sudden, you decided to vibrate like this. And she's like this, and it just doesn't work anymore. It's physics, it's science. So that leaves your life. But we forget why people and jobs and husbands leave our lives. And all of a sudden we're brought down and we start focusing on the sadness and the anguish and the worry and the fear. But I ask you to look at it in another way. I ask you to go, oh, the morphing has begun. Why am I going to lament frequencies that no longer are in sync with me? The reason I'm changing is because I want to change everything about my life. I want to change the people who are in my life. I want to change my wife. I want to change my girlfriend. I want to change my job. Whatever it is that you want to change, I want to change so I have more money. Whatever it is, the moment that change or that shift starts to happen, that is that very fragile tipping point. And many of us get caught right there. And we either tip backwards or we tip forwards. So when we go backwards, it's because we're falling back to those old behavior patterns, those old fears that we have. So how many times has an opportunity knocked on your door? Or a really cool person come to you? You're like, oh my gosh, this is great. This is what I've been wanting. But after a while, it doesn't pan out. It's not working. It feels like it just kind of that opportunity disappeared. It could be because once that opportunity came to you, you weren't tipping forward, so to speak. You started going backward. You started going back into the old frequency, the old vibration you had out of fear and worries, guilt, responsibilities, judgments, instead of going forward. So this forward movement can be really tough because there is a difficult period where you're morphing from the old new to the new you. You don't even know who the new you is. You're discovering the new you, and that can be scary for many people. And so instead of, it's almost like a little bit of this void that you go through because you really don't know who you are anymore. You know you're not that old person, but you don't know what you're going to become. So you're just traveling through this void. And for many of us, this is really, really scary. And just as we're starting to morph, just as we're starting to attract what we want in our lives, we get scared and we go back. And then some of us start again and we get scared and we go back. Instead of moving forward, everything that you lost, you go, yes, it's been lost for a reason. It's been lost for a reason because something better is coming. Something that is more aligned with me is coming. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Stop listening to what your friends are saying. Stop listening to what your mother is saying. Stop listening to what society is saying. Don't divorce him. He makes a lot of money. You'll have a really good life with him. These kind of nonsense things that you hear from other people who are giving you advice through their own fears. So sometimes we listen to them and we're stuck. So for those of you who are in that successful stage of morphing into the new you, please just stay with it. Move through that really weird void where you don't know who you are anymore. You're not the old you. You don't know what the new you is going to be, but you know you're headed there. So just let what's leaving your life go. Let it go, just keep going. Let it go, just keep going. Let it go, just keep going. Have faith. Allow your frequency, your auric field to continue changing, continue morphing, and then allow the new you to start to develop. Because in order for the new you to develop, you have to let go of the old you. In order to let go of the old you, you're going to go through this little amount of time where there's like a void where you don't even know who or what you are. You might not even know what you like anymore. You might not know what you want to be. You might not know where you want to live. You might not even want to have a romantic relationship. You have too much going on in your mind. Whatever this void presents to you, keep moving forward. Don't tip backwards because of your fears. For example, one change that many people want is more money in their lives. So the reason they didn't have a lot of money in their lives is due to a belief system that they had. And so they got rid of that belief system. Now they're starting to see the money come in. Okay, now they've entered this void or this tipping point. And sometimes it's really hard for people to accept, oh my God, I have all this money. And they still start battling with a little bit of worthy issues or a little bit of fear, and they start to go backwards. Instead of, okay, this money's coming, it makes me a little uncomfortable, but it's coming because I want it, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'll just let it sit in the bank. I don't have to worry about it right now. Move forward, move forward, move forward. Because what happens is, if you don't move forward, you're going to go backwards. You're going to have to do it all over again. You're going to get to that tipping point again. How many times in your life do you want to get to that tipping point and go backwards? So once you get to that void, it's the morph void. It's that void. It's that place where you don't know who or what you are anymore because you're becoming something different. You're becoming what you want to be. So just allow yourself that process of the transformation. And it's a weird place to be. Just know that you're in it. If you know that you're in it, you'll get through it. If you know that it could be a little tough, you'll get through it. So please, after all this work you do, and it's not easy work, it's not easy work to dig and dig and dig and dig and determine what's sitting in your auric field. So After all that work that you're doing because you love yourself, and this is all done because you're showing yourself love, please don't do all that work and then go backwards again because you're succumbing to fears and to societal pressures. Please just go through that void, that morph void, get to the other side, and start discovering the new you. Change a few more things, get to another tipping point, move through that, and then determine the new you. Just keep going and going and going. So this is something that I've personally experienced. I know what it's like to go through that morph void. You can really get hung up on it. So I just wanted to let you know that it exists. You are going to find yourself in it if you are doing the work necessary to become the new you. And uh, if you need extra help, there are lots of us out here that can help you. I would love to help you. Others would love to help you. So reach out for help too during this really strange trip that you're on of morphing into another parallel reality. All right, thank you for listening. If you are interested in any of the readings that I do or just want to know more about what I do, just please visit my website, sevreadings.com. All right, I love you. Bye.